Anybody to invite currently. But
we're live.
All right, cool. Hey everybody, what's up? It's Papa Bale. Mike does.
Playing some music here.
Awesome. You can see it in the background spinning right there. That's Bedini SSG. Ha. Yeah. Right. Well,
I don't know why it's got a circle around your picture.
I had a circle around yours too. Maybe it's Is there a way to like get my phone? We did this before. My phone feed, like have my mobile, and I can go over there and take a
look.
Yeah,
I'll just put the invite link, and you click on it from your phone.
Okay.
If you can get to Discord on your phone.
Yeah, I can do that.
So I guess I'll put the invite link in the chat. Hey, Christopher Houghton. Hello, hello.
Hello. All right, so I need to go into the Discord on my computer to find out exactly. This is.
Oh, go to the stream. Click on the link. I put it in there in the comments.
Okay. There you go. Wait. You put it in StreamYard?
On the YouTube live in the comments. Link.
Oh. Yeah, I don't have it on my phone yet. Let me get it on my phone. There we go.
Actually, they're right here. So what did you want to talk about?
You want to put it in the Discord?
The link? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in there.
All right, there we go. Oh, wait a minute. All right, let me go to the Discord and all right. All right, now remember how to swap the camera from your face to the
swap the camera.
Yeah.
What do you mean, in StreamYard?
Yeah. Is the gear camera?
No, I'm not good with those phones.
All right, I'm in.
Oh, there you go. You can mute the mic on the phone, I think, or depends how it goes.
All right, yeah. Wow.
Or mute your headphones or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right, there we go.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
All right. Now, I want to show you guys what I'm doing here, and I want to talk about what I have and what I need. So let's look at.
Tech house beats, they move house souls.
Can you hear me through the phone?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just don't know how to like switch from my selfie to my camera.
It's the clockwise arrow, bottom right, I think.
More.
It's like a circular arrow.
No, I don't see a circular arrow. And then you hit cam and it goes on. Yeah, the cam just turns it on and off. There we go. I don't know. Maybe I'll just turn it around. How about that? Just turn my phone around.
You'll be able to see on the computer what your phone is looking at.
Yeah, you can see it on the computer what I'm looking at? Oh, that's not what I'm looking at. I'm not trying to look at me.
No, turn the phone around at what you want to show. There. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
And look at the computer to see what the phone is seeing. Yeah, we can see. I don't know why it's a circle around it.
Wow. Okay, I wish I knew how to change that.
I think it's in my StreamYard settings. Let me see here.
All right. I'm gonna... Yeah, so basically I want to figure out I want to figure this out, and then I want to figure out what I need to do this, and you're the guy to talk to, really, to figure out how to do this. So just technical difficulties. You want to ask the chat?
Give me a second. I'm doing something and getting rid of that circle around the crop solo layout to show background. No. Crop layout.
It might be because I'm logged in twice.
No. I think I.
No? Okay.
Let me see here. Layout. To show that crop layout. New spotlight layout. That's what I think it is. No.
Here we go. There it is. We got it. All right.
No.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Okay.
So let's get our meter readings real quick. Find out from that what we need exactly. All right, this is the dry battery right here. It's going at 1218, 1800, and that's the primary, and then the charge battery is up to 1271, which is nice. That's moving really fast, though, for how low the battery is. I think it is, anyway.
Yeah, I think it when the battery gets charged up, it moves slower because there's nowhere for the charge to go.
I get what you're saying.
Because is that the Bedini circuit you're running there? The SG?
Yeah, the SSG right here, with gen mode.
All right.
So it's
So
got gen mode.
I think when the battery fills up, the sorry, the flyback has nowhere to go, so it impedes the drive coil instead, because the flyback has to get out of the drive coil. If it stays in there, it acts like lens. So in that respect, it slows down the wheel.
Oh, I got you.
That's what I think is going on anyway.
It looks like it's going pretty slow, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a nice. You printed that on the 3D printer, those rotors?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
It's going like gotta be going close to like 700 right now. So I mean, like it is going slow in comparison to other ones, but I think for what it is, it's going pretty fast. It's got a 10 millimeter shaft. It's running on a Bedini SSG. My pot is a little out of date, but it works. I discovered that it works, so that's good. It's a 16 gauge coil for the drive, so it's a fat wire, and 26 gauge trigger.
What's the trigger again?
26.
26?
Yep.
And the drive was what? 16?
16.
So yeah, you have a 26. I think that's what Bedini uses, is a 26 and a 22 or
It's
something.
a really good wire to use as a trigger. It's really good.
Yeah. If you go thinner on the gauge for the trigger, you'll get an easier trigger, but it'll be less duty cycle, less current. It'll trigger easier though, because the voltage will get through a lot higher voltage with less current.
Yeah. I have to spin it less hard on the torque there.
Right. The trigger, the thinner the gauge, the less current you'll be able to put into the transistor.
Yeah, but I only need to like for the trigger, the base, it only needs like what is it, 0.5 of a volt or less, or like or is it 5 volts?
2 volts.
2 volts, okay. So I'm easily doing 2 volts here, like well, it's not a MOSFET, so it's a, I'm not sure exactly what I'm pulling for the trigger coil, but I don't have to like put any effort into spinning it to get it started, you know?
How many feet of 26 is it? More than 150 feet?
It's less. It's
Less than that.
Yeah, it's
80 feet. Well, that depends on your magnets, how close they are to the trigger winding.
180 turns of 16 gauge.
Well, that's the drive winding. I was asking about the trigger winding. How many?
Same length.
Same length.
Yeah.
But you don't know the length though. You know the turns.
Yeah, the turns. Same amount of turns.
Was it from a spool?
2 spools. Yeah.
You don't know how many feet was in that spool?
Well, there wasn't a whole spool.
Half a spool, or?
I'm not exactly sure. It's been around for a while, but I know that
Hey,
I made it as part of a set. And it might be 280 turns. It could have been a whole spool now that I think about it. Because I got these coils here. They're single file 16 gauge coils that are for extensions for this very coil that I got over there. So you just line those other coils up with the magnet on your rotor, and you get a little torque boost. And you only need the one trigger as long as you line them up. That's what I figured out. But, that's a whole nother project, man. That's something else. Got off track there.
Yeah.
So I turned the knob a little bit. Remember how it was low? If you can see that. I can't see it. But it went up. And that's the input voltage. Or the battery of the primary. That's the primary battery voltage. And it went up. Like
Right.
just a little bit from when I tweaked it.
This is the 2 battery system with Bedini, right?
Yeah.
And the drive battery should be dropping while the charge battery is rising.
The drive battery is dropping at a phenomenally slow rate, but yes, you're absolutely right. And then, you can make it rise if you want a little bit, but it'll continuously drop. Absolutely.
What is the resistance on your potentiometer? Do you know how many ohms you got?
1,000 ohms, 1K.
Wow. So 1K, yeah, that's pretty good. You're using a gauge 20 drive.
16.
16. Yeah.
16.
So you're limiting the current. So
Yeah, man, it's working phenomenally well with a potentiometer. Like, way better than this ever could with the regular resistor.
10K resistor across the gate and source to make sure the MOSFET is shutting off completely. And if you're using north and south, I understand you need to rectify the trigger coil.
Unfortunately, I've only got one. That's it right there for MOSFET transistors. The one that's in there right now. Tomorrow I'll have more coming in, and then I'll get even better ones coming in after that. But right now, this is the only one that I have. So if it's not working good, I can't do anything about it. I wish I could.
So, and Brandon here is saying you want to rectify the trigger AC pulse to DC to trigger the MOSFET. And I believe in the Bedini SG circuit, he has a, what do they call that? A diode from the emitter to the base that does that. And if you follow
that's right.
Right. So that should
It's a germanium diode. It's a Zener.
It's a that's the diode that does that, I believe, and it's called. He called it a. I forgot this. I forgot what it's called. A shunt or something like this. I forget what they call it. It'll come to me later.
The resistor, the big metal encased resistor, the shunt.
Well, that's for an amps meters and stuff.
Okay. Let me think here.
Snubber, I think it's called snubber diode or something.
I think I might have some of them. I bought one of the multi-pack of diode, and that's how I learned about
clamping diode. That's right, you got it. That's what it's called, Brandon. The clamping diode. That's what they call it. The clamping means to rectify AC, basically. And that's what Bedini called it too, but that's what they call it, in electronics. They call it a clamping diode.
So, this is a complete SSG circuit. Okay, so it's got the diode.
That's the K energy.
K energy dot store.
Yeah.
Beautiful circuit. So So
Yeah,
it's
Painter's
got
just
all
got a
the
lot of good
trimming.
stuff on his story. Yeah, I've seen all his builds are very nicely done.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
So, where are you going with it? I mean, do you want to automate the swap, or what are you thinking of doing here?
Yes, that's one thing that I wanted to do here, because right now, I gotta like swap 4 connections,
All
make sure I
right.
don't get any of them wrong,
Well, I
and then
have
I
an
could
answer for that.
change it up right here.
I
So
have a
I was
solution for
thinking,
that.
in order to do that,
Well, don't
uh,
think. I already did the thinking. Yeah, the
right
double
here.
pole. There you go. The double pole switch is what you need to do that, right? And you can do it slowly at a time with a timer, like you know
I
that
want to do it
remember that
fast.
diagram that we put together, that you put
Yeah,
together, and
yeah,
I drew it out for you.
yes.
That's one way to do it slowly. But
But
if
I
you look at
can make that timer click at like 1 second pops, you know, even faster.
right, but then again, you got to use power for that timer. But
That's true. Oh wow, right.
so the way I thought of doing it is, is not really. I'm not really swapping the batteries. I'm just bouncing the flyback to not swapping. Instead, I'm bouncing. So instead of using, I don't know how many coils you're going to use, but if you use 2 coils, you can bounce the flyback from the 2 coils between 2 batteries, and you don't have to swap anything. You just
Cool.
double pole switch each coil over each battery, and that's it. Let me bring that up. Hold on.
Now am I doing the coil? But I have 2 separate. I have 2 SSG circuits that I can use.
Well, I have a 13-minute video that I kind of tried to explain a way to bounce the flyback between 2 coils and 2 batteries. If you want to watch it.
Okay. I mean, can I use my SSGs in the circuit in the?
Well, it's not an SSG circuit per se, but it follows the concept of Bedini's method for capturing the flyback
I got
with
that.
with the diode arrangement, and it's a modification off the SSG design, but it's not the SSG. It's not anything like the SSG, but it's based off the Bedini SG circuit and his concept with that circuit.
So hence, like we need to make our list of what we need to make this work.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me bring the video up and I'll mute the audio, or I can let it play because I do explain in the video what's going on. But I can explain it live as well, if that's what you prefer.
Yeah, it'd be good.
And
been getting a lot of sun lately. How about you, Mike?
me? No,
Been inside?
It's super hot where I'm at. I don't know. I'm in Florida, so
Yeah.
right now
At the pool? I've been at the pool myself, man, all the time.
What happened to, where did it go? Give me a second here. There it is. Okay. Okay. So, okay. It's tough to explain what I'm trying to explain, but where is it? Oh, there it is.
Into the battery, and then you want to repeat this process over and over and over.
I remember
what you really
this
want
one.
to do is you want to go as fast as you can without a capacitor, for the simple fact is You want to put a lot of this radiant energy to the source.
Brandon, if you want to join, the link's in the chat.
Okay. Go back here a little bit.
More the merrier.
Talk about
Absolutely.
this image here.
There's a video playing for sure. We got that.
So in the Bedini, I'm going to compare this to the Bedini SG single drive coil, single trigger winding, bifilar. Okay. The bifilar, the trigger winding is not shown here, but make sure the audio is working. Okay, we're good. So the trigger winding is not here, but their drive coil is here, and there's 2 drive coils, not 1. And those are the 2 coils you see. Now, whatever method you use to trigger the source to energize the 2 coils is up to you. But you have to trigger both the positive and the negative from the source to those 2 drive coils. And that's a double pole switch method, positive and negative, both poles, double pole. And that's how you would energize the coil, however you do it. But you don't energize the 2 coils at the same time. You energize one at a time. And if I play the video, you'll see they don't switch together. So there might be a lot of confused minds out there as how this circuit is going to do that without shorting out. And I'll try to walk you guys through that right now. And let's go to the left side.
Okay, let me just say something real quick. I'm going to show another video of how.
I'm here.
I'm going to show how, and after this, another video, how if you single pole switch, even in this circuit or any other circuit, you single pole switch, the flyback will get it will get canceled, you know, and on the line, it will get canceled on the line, not on the battery. So.
Oh, I see. I hear you.
And I'll show that later, but let me continue this.
And you see the switches are closed on the source battery to the drive coil. There's 2 drive coils. So the left side source is now charging the left side drive coil, but the right side source is not doing anything, and it's being isolated from the left side by the diode, the high voltage diode, on the plus terminal of the right side battery. So in that method, you know, while the right side is open and the left side is closed, you isolate the right side portion of the circuit. So, and that right side is the right coil with and you can see the 2 lines, the 2 circuit lines heading to the left from the right side coil. And since the 2 switches underneath that coil are open, you don't really need to trace that at this time because there's nothing going on there, but you can trace the 2 lines from the right side coil, the 2 circuit lines, over to the left side. And one of those lines has a high voltage diode pointing to the positive terminal of the left side battery. So that diode, paying attention to that diode on the left, on the positive terminal of the left side battery, while in this action here, the left side is being switched from the source to the drive coil on top of it, you are connecting to the right side circuit, but the diode is isolating the right side from actually connecting to the left battery. And if anything's connected on the right side, it's the right side coil because the right side battery and its switches are open. And at the same time, you have the left side battery and its negative terminal going up to charge the negative side of the coil, and that line heading to the right, that circuit, has a diode facing the right side battery. So the right side battery plus cannot feed to the left by that diode blocks it. So the diode is blocking it's doing the isolation for you on this between the left and right side. Those two diodes are doing the isolation for you during the switching. And I'll explain that again. So when the right side is open on the two switches, right? So the coil don't get charged. But look at the diode; it's facing the plus terminal of the right side battery. So any positive potential coming out of that battery will be blocked, heading to the left. And that opens the circuit for the right side to the left.
All right, so I made a mistake there. I meant to say left side battery, but the diode facing the left side battery plus terminal is blocking the left side battery from charging the right side coil. And the diode facing the right side battery plus terminal is blocking the right side battery from charging the left side coil. But it's not blocking the flyback from coming from the left side coil. And the same thing for the right side coil. Its flyback can hit the left side battery. If that made any sense. I try. What I meant to say is the two coils are not feeding each coil is feeding. Okay, the left side coil is only flying back into the right side battery, and the right side coil is only flying back into the left side battery. And that's it. You there? Dale? Yeah.
So meaning that the right side has no connection to the left because of that diode. If the switch were closed, closed on the positive terminal of the right side battery, then I'll go to that position here. It's closed now. The right side battery is closed, and the plus terminal can go up to charge the coil, and the minus hence. And then look at the plus terminal of the right side battery going up to charge the coil, and you see that line going to the left, and it connects to the negative of the left side battery, which is not a problem, because it only is a problem if the right side negative is connected to the left side positive at that moment. And since the right side negative is heading over the top of the two coils, that line is going to the right, up top, over the two coils, coming down to the left side battery positive terminal, but the switch is open at that moment. So that's why the right side negative terminal of the battery cannot reach the left side positive terminal of the left battery, because the switch is open right now. But the right side positive terminal of the battery can reach the left side negative directly when the switch is closed on the right side, as it is now. Yeah, that is confusing. I'm just going to do it anyway and speak what I'm trying to see here, or what I see here, and why this works. And it took me a while to get this circuit right. Before, I had only one switch on each source to the coil above it, and that was not working out. It turned out the flyback rebound or whatever was being canceled on the line instead of over the battery terminals, which is what my goal was. And adding a second switch, double pole switching this, achieved that beautifully. And there's more than one way to do this with one battery and a single coil, and still do the capture of the flyback efficiently without canceling it on the line. And I have those methods on my channel as well. There's more than one way to do this. I just like this one the most because how do I explain it? Other ways you can do it with a single battery, single coil, and you can energize the coil and have it fly back to the same battery with double pole switching and the needed circuitry. Those methods are great. I like them. With that is the thing about that is the source is receiving charge right after it gave a load, and it's getting charged via the feedback, the flyback, whatever, and that's great. And certain types of systems can handle that, like capacitors or whatever, or efficient electrolyte type dense batteries.
What's
But I
up?
don't think it's so good for lead acid. I don't think they can receive a charge so quick. And with this method, you can have one battery get loaded by a coil, and then you can unload that battery and that coil into a different battery, and that other battery to the right will be the ones that's not, at the time that it receives charge, it's not loading anything. That's why I like this. Well, the same thing with the single battery, single coil flyback, is technically at the time that battery is being loaded, it's not receiving charge either, because it's just getting the charge a lot quicker after it's been loaded. With this circuit, you give it more time in between the two, in between the source and how long it takes for it to receive a charge from the flyback. You give the loaded battery more time after it's been loaded to receive charge with this circuit. And you can slow down the switching to a very low frequency. You just want to make sure that your duty cycle on each double pole switch, and by the way, there's 2 double pole switches here operating independently, one for each source to each coil, and you trigger them, stagger trigger them. But you could slow down that frequency, but just make sure your duty cycle is not very long, because then you'll be wasting power. And that requires a special switching device. Maybe an Arduino can do that. I know an Arduino can do that, or an Lego can do that. You can set the duty cycle on that to 1 millisecond or whatever. Low, the impedance high, you keep the current low like that.
Yeah, I was just rambling there, but that's pretty much that's best as I could try to explain it. But yeah,
That's good.
so and I'll show how if you single pole switch, the flyback will get canceled on the line here. Where is that one? Where is it? What's it called? Single battery. There it is. Okay.
Repeat this process over and over and over. But what you really want to do is you want to go as fast as you can without a capacitor, for the simple fact is you want to put a lot of this radiant energy to the source.
Okay.
So
All right.
I want to go over this single battery, the Dini.
Vale.
Yeah, what's up?
So this is the way to do it with one battery and double pole switching. But
Okay.
But in the drawing, I'm going to remove the left switch. You see the one on the right and the one on the left?
Yeah.
I'm going to remove the left switch and show how when you single pole switch this, you lose the flyback on the wire instead of the battery. Okay?
Hmm.
Modification of the flyback capture system. Made a video about this a couple days ago. Here you have the correct version, and here you have the incorrect version. I would like to discuss.
You see that red arrow? It points to where the flyback shorts out on the line.
Or draw out here why it's, incorrect. And it's incorrect because it has only one switch on one side of the inductor, the negative side. And that's typically how you switch the Bedini SG monopole system, with a single switch on the negative of the battery or the source. Okay, this will not work because the flyback shorts itself out. Here you have the positive flyback, here you have the negative flyback.
Yeah, man.
Positive from your battery. It places a positive here and a negative here when it's charging the coil. Okay, when it's not charging the coil, the polarity inverts, the coil loses charge, drops its field, flies back in inverted polarity. The polarity you see here, plus and minus. And the reason why the flyback gets canceled in this circuit with only one switch on the negative leg of the battery is because when the positive flyback goes out this way, comes across this diode to this point here, the negative flyback meets the positive flyback at the same point, and it gets canceled.
And there you go. That's it right there. So we'll open up the discussion now.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Getting it all.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why you have to double pole switch.
Yeah. I mean, I got a, what do you call it? A latch double pull switch. I have two of them.
Yeah. So you have to add that second switch on the left there to avoid that canceling the flyback on the line. And it doesn't matter if you use the two coil circuit, or if you use this circuit, you still need to double pole switch, or the flyback will get canceled on the line and it won't hit the battery, and you'll just be losing it. It won't stop the circuit from operating like a pulse motor, but you won't be able to recycle the flyback, and it'll be less efficient.
Got it. So,
Brandon?
I mean, this one over here that I'm looking at right now, that's a 24 gauge coil with a 32 gauge trigger in it. So, since I'm running it on a reed switch, I could easily, run those two in series, the 24 and the 32. But this is it on 32 right here. This is max voltage. I'm at 31 volts. I'm pulling 50 milliamps, and it's going really fast. In my opinion, it's going like 1800 RPMs. And then this one is doing all right. I mean, it is running on a power hungry coil.
Right. Yeah, I mean the Bedini SG is real fun to work with. You could, you get free rotations while you're just moving energy from one battery to the other. And in the whole time, you can be self-aware that the rotor is spinning for free.
Basically. But you do spend a little bit less than you put in, as long as you have somewhere to put it. Then you're ahead, But if you don't, then you're losing out.
Brandon, you want to join in?
Because I've measured the input and the output here, and
Hello.
hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Brandon?
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Bill? Mike?
How's it going?
I'm doing a little bit better now. I got actual house internet, which I don't have to worry about all the lagging like a long time ago. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was taking a little bit to get set up. I wanted to bring up a video from Energy from the Vacuum where Bedini addresses on the oscilloscope what happens when you use north-south magnets. And I'm trying to remember, I'm here looking at the Energy from the Vacuum videos on my computer. I just pulled them up. Let's see. It's the one where he's using that big window motor that he made, the black one. See, I'm fast forwarding through it. Let's see. It's not on this one. Yeah, I'll get it for you. Let me just find a timestamp of where he starts talking about it and the video, and then I'll find it on YouTube. But yeah, I'll go ahead for now. I'll pop back in as soon as I find it.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm running 120, so I wouldn't be able to do north-south right now. But this one over here is it's actually on 90 degrees, so I can run a north-south on this one.
Okay. Nice.
But it is this is a reed switch right here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Reed switch, you can do it.
What did you mean you couldn't run it north-south? What do you? I'm not following you there.
Well, like you wanted to use MOSFETs, right, Bill? You wanted to use MOSFETs, you were saying earlier, I think?
Yeah, I do want to learn how to use MOSFETs. I want to have a circuit that I can use MOSFETs with.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now myself for my generator circuit, but you remember the generator circuit, Mike? The shorting circuit that I had?
Yeah.
Remember I was talking about we couldn't get it working with north-south magnets? Well, I rectified the trigger coil, with the half wave and a full wave, and I was talking to ChatGPT too about these things, and it was verifying that I need to put a half wave or a full wave rectifier on the trigger coil to give it a consistent.
If it's a monopole, he has to use north only, right, or south only.
Well, like if he's using a monopole like normal Bedini, north or all south, you don't have to really rectify the trigger because it's all one pulse, the same polarity. But north south.
Now I get now I get it. Okay.
Like if he had 4 magnets, he's only going to be pulsing the 2 norths or whatever, or the 2 souths with the north-south setup. Because I've actually experienced that on my setup too, and any Bedini setup will act like that. That's why they came up with the Roncol or the bipolar switching sequential circuit, because that actually did that in a more advanced way, I guess. Or like the Sky Collection circuit, I guess, does that, I think. where you have two
Sky Collector, he's the
Darlington
Spanish
pair.
speaking guy, right?
Yeah, yeah. He has a circuit that uses a MJL 21193. He uses a PNP and an MPN, one for
Okay.
each. But I don't remember if his is doing that. Like his circuit's pretty interesting. Like you don't even need a trigger circuit. It uses the power winding to charge up a capacitor, and that fires a transistor to fire the. It uses the same coil as a trigger.
You can't use a
It,
clamping diode with a north-south rotor.
yeah, you can.
Okay. It would still work. Huh? That would be cool
Yeah.
because then you can generate AC with a stator.
Right.
How would you do? You would have to. I guess you would use the clamping diode in two directions from the base to the emitter, huh? Two diodes.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was. I wish I had an oscilloscope, man. I have a little one. I finally got it to power on, but I'm gonna get a decent oscilloscope this year because I need to see the coils, like the waveforms of which way it's firing or how long and all that. Because I'm gonna have to look at that. Because I want to make sure that the MOSFET is turning off completely. That's another thing. And like my generator shorting circuit, I figured out that I needed to. It was a little bit of learning curve trying to learn MOSFETs, and I'm still learning more about them because they're fired more with voltage than current. Like the transistor and Bedini setup, the trigger coil, you need about 1 to 5 volts to fire a transistor typically, right? And with some decent current behind it. And the more current you give the transistor to the base, the harder it fires. But a MOSFET's different. It'll fire really sharp on and off, and it can fire really fast. And all you need is not a high voltage, like a really clean, stable voltage input. I mean, you don't really need a lot of current behind the voltage, so you can use like a really thin winding coil if you want, as long as it's enough voltage. And that's the beautiful part of the MOSFET versus a trigger from a transistor, because it doesn't cause too much drag. Because remember, the trigger coil in a Bedini setup is kind of like a generator coil, basically. And the more coils you start adding with more trigger coils is going to cause you a little bit more and losses with the drag.
Right. I mean, if the more current you have behind the base, the longer the duty cycle is.
Right. Am I still live? Can you hear me?
Yeah. No, you just had two. You joined twice. Yeah. So that's it's a lot of ways you could wire these things. Can you hear me? You there, Brandon?
Okay, yeah, I lost you for a second. I was watching the stream on my computer, but it.
Oh, I just kicked it. I thought you had joined twice by accident. Sorry. Go ahead and.
Oh no. How do I get back in? That's all right.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you could wire up these circuits. A lot of things you can do.
Right.
I like the coil shorting idea. That's impressive.
Yeah, man.
Thanks,
like
man.
too.
Yeah, I just
I've been
moved to a
spreading the idea
new.
around myself. I've been telling my people, my buddy, just one buddy actually, about your stuff.
Thanks, man.
I think
I mean, it's
him.
open source. You are more than welcome to use it however you want. I mean, it's on my community post. I put it on my channel a while back, so y'all can build it.
I was telling him about it, but he actually mentioned it before you showed me that, like about a year earlier. He was talking about shorting coils.
It's been done before many times. Like Aaron Murakami have showed it. and energy science videos. Like it's not a new thing. And Robert Adams, a lot of people
Did you
were
ever
doing the
get a hold?
push.
Did he ever get a hold of you? Is what I was trying to get at.
Who are we talking about?
It's Peter Holofax X.
Oh, Peter Holofax. Yeah, we talk a lot.
Yeah, man, he's the one who brought it up like a year before you did. And I'm like, yeah, man, he's talking about it now too. And I was like, you probably talked to him about it. And it was weird because he probably been talking to me the whole time about it.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting, man. Like I'm fascinated by it because the Bedini motor doesn't have a lot of torque unless it's like a really big one, with multiple coils. But
Right.
but using the shorting coil method, you can get the
You don't
mechanical
need torque.
energy. Yeah, you can turn the mechanical energy into usable, output. Like making more back EMF off the generator coils. And that's what I wanted to do, and then put it into a cap dump and like put that back into the primary battery. Like I get 1-to-1 ratio. Huh?
Run this SSG off a single generator and a trick coil.
What is that?
SSG off a single generator and a trigger coil.
I can't hear it. The signal generator?
Yeah, I'm gonna use a signal generator
Okay.
and a coil. Well, here, I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Can you see what I'm doing?
Okay, so you got a. Hey, I heard you earlier. You were talking. That's pretty beefy coil, and that's. What's that? Okay, you got a fan at the end. Is that just like a load?
Yeah, it's just like a scooping fan.
Okay. That's a good thing sometimes. Like like K-Energy and Bedini, they put fans on the Bedini motor purposely to slow down the speed, and you actually get a little bit more output.
Yeah, because you got to try a little bit harder, or is it just because the speed is slower?
I guess it delays like the timing somehow, or the way it's firing. I'm not sure. Like if you were looking at an oscilloscope, you probably could see that.
Oh, let's look.
Oh, cool.
I'm
My
on the
friend's
battery
here.
though.
My friend Shadowburn 3D. If y'all don't know him, he's here. That's pretty.
Yeah.
How's it
I like
going?
these new motors. New motors, shit. The opto-driven 0-point motor.
So what are you doing there, Bill? You just gotta get the SG motor going, the K Energy circuit, with the generator mode.
Yeah, he posted a video about that.
Yeah, that pot. I remember you talking about it. Those are nice, man. Like I have some of those, and it's hard to burn those out. That's a 25 watt, right?
Yeah.
That one? A 1K?
Your buddy's motor, I think, is like the awesomest thing I've ever seen. The 0-point motor.
Which one is that?
Oh no, you're talking about 3D PPM? Are you talking about redesign?
Both of those guys are awesome. I haven't seen redesign in a while.
Yeah.
I remember talking to
Redesign's
him
motor,
back
that's
then.
who it is, man. He's got an awesome motor out right now.
Which one? 3D redesign?
Redesign, yeah. 0-point opto driven.
Oh yeah. Is it the Zero Force one you're talking about?
Yeah,
I saw that one a while
motor
back.
is nice and clean, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I talked to him about that a long time ago, like about making a toroidal, but I want to make a toroidal core Zero Force motor, like like you have to put a ring, like a toroidal ring with all the coils. His coils are separated. I think they're air cores, but you want to make it in a toroidal ring, and everything changes from there pretty much. And then you want to dual axial flux it. That's what I'm gonna do, which I haven't seen it done yet, but there's two.
Top and bottom, like side and side.
Yeah, but dual axial flux, toroidal core zero force style Bedini motor. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah.
Coil shorting is a different way of statoring without the need for torque, you know. I think it's way more efficient probably than a standard stator with AC north and south.
Do y'all know that guy Spencer from what is it? Limited Potential Energies. I think that's what his channel's called.
Sounds familiar.
He's replicating the 10 coiler Bedini motor, man. Like the 7 Filer coils, like 10 of them. He's
Right,
actually
right.
rebuilding it from scratch, really nicely.
A big one,
He's put a lot of money in it. Yeah, a big one.
10
Nice.
7 filers.
And he's going to be using silicon carbide switching MOSFETs, like the newer types.
Oh,
Which is
I mean, how do
and
you-
he's gonna use opto coupling, opto sensing discs to trigger it as well.
Will you be able? Will he be able to get around needing to match all those MOSFETs, or what?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I know you're supposed to match them and all that, but I mean, like Rick Friedrich has like a axial flux motor similar to what I'm wanting to do, right? And he had like a MOSFET driver. He had like one single MOSFET firing 8 coils, all 8 of or 4 of his motor coils. You can do 8 if you wanted to, because the MOSFETs can handle a lot of amperage versus the transistors, and they switch a lot faster. So it's actually cheaper if we can achieve that. With MOSFETs, you don't have to worry about matching because
you need to add diodes to those coils on that one MOSFET. Otherwise, the flyback from one coil will channel into the other.
Right. I mean, Rick Friedrich has some circuits that do that.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you've ever seen his motors, but he's got some pretty big motors. I mean, that they use MOSFETs or transistors, but yeah, you would want to match them.
You can't put a 7 filer in parallel across one transistor because the flyback from one of those filers will feed into the other filer. Now, I don't think that's a problem, but it may, I don't know. I just think you need to put a diode on each filer to keep the flyback from one filer going into the other. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I'm looking
you
here
could probably still do it without the diodes on each filer, but the flyback will probably bounce between all the filers before it heads out the single flyback diode. I don't know, just a theory. And what happens when you bounce the flyback between multiple filers within each filer? What happens to that signal? Does it stay? Does it get corrupted, or does it, because each filer has its own individual flyback signal.
I wanna bring up this clip from the energy from the vacuum. So I think I found it right here.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, I've been going through these videos trying to find. I'm gonna mute myself for a second so I can listen to what they're saying real quick, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Je te découvre encore, tissant nos douceurs. Dans cette ville, nous vibrons cœur à cœur. Toulouse, nos âmes dansent, épris de romance. Dans les ruelles, on explore, on avance. L'amour fleurit ici comme un doux printemps sous les lumières. Pour toi, je fredonne et nous garons tout le temps. Alanis, toujours dans mes pensées. Un amour éternel que rien ne se briser. Dans les rues de Toulouse, amour en fête. Des terrasses débordent de lumière secrète. Sur le pont de la Garonne, main dans la main, nous rions ensemble en ce doux matin.